the new Weekend Crusading Guide, well, some of the papers that, if we have time, I will be running through for you.
Okay, I'll be taking a look at the Daily Graphic, the Finder, the Chronicle, the Daily Statesman, and the Custodian newspaper. You know what I was thinking as you said that? Well, you can fake it until you make it to work. Sometimes you wake up and your body is singing a different tune. You don't want to rouse yourself, but you simply have to.
You have to move. We move.
Oh, yeah, we move.
But before, I have a better dedication.
Sure, go ahead.
Have you seen a 5-year Air Marshal before?
Air Marshal at 5 years?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Well, there's a cute 5-year-old who's celebrating his birthday. There you are. That's Air Marshal Michael Komi Seglo Aklobato of New Pathways Academy in Takrady. You're 5 today, sir. Happy birthday. As an Air Marshal, may the good Lord make you a great leader of many squadrons in the service of God and country. It's from Mommy and Daddy, your sisters, Sefia Moore and Ceci Aklobato. And that's his godfather, by the way. That's why he's an Air Marshal. That's Air Marshal Michael Sampson OJ, his godfather. So you see, you have to have a great godfather so you can own it. Even at the very beginning of your life. So happy birthday, sweetheart. Enjoy your birthday. And good morning to your dad, Moses. There's also another one, a very good friend of mine. You lost your mother-in-law. The funeral is coming up this weekend. Frank Miracle from Brim constituency, formerly of the local government service. This weekend, you're burying your mother-in-law. The funeral actually begins on the 29th and the 30th of May, just this weekend. So if you know him, please stretch a hand and help. It's happening at the Ashaman Official Town Celestial School, 2 minutes drive from Ashaman Municipal Assembly. Frank Miracle, Demri why?
Okay, let's do this final one by way of those celebrating special days today. Happy birthday to my lovely son, Michael Aram Komla Asempa Kofiche. He is 8 years today. Michael Aram Komla Asempa Kofiche, 8 years today. It's from your dad, Frank HK Asempa Kofiche, who is right here with us, a colleague of ours at work. We wish you the very best, Mikey boy. You know, that brings to mind something. Do you know my birth name, given name, is Michael?
Is it?
Yes.
So you're Benjamin Michael?
At a point, I used to sign Ben Mike. Now, here's the thing. My father was, because he passed, Benjamin Emmanuel Akakpo. I am junior. At a point in time, I was signing Ben Mike Akakpo, hyphenated. And then, you know, over time, because my documents, passports, certificates, and everything were simply Benjamin Akakpo, I had to stick to it. So my given name, in actuality, is Michael.
Sounds yo-yo-ish.
But before we get into the papers, always have to mischief you. I know you travel quite a bit. When you do travel, how do you like it? Do you go first class, business, economy, premium economy? How do you go?
I'm part of the economy class.
Because when I look at the economy, I do economy. My free. But
book early, make friends so they can put you in the front seat. You know what I mean? You can still get room.
Yeah. And maybe we should get enough money so that at some point we can fly.
Honestly,
luxuriously.
Unless somebody was giving me a free ticket, I am not sure. That
But all travel be travel. Once we'll get to the next point, it's okay. But believe you me, I just don't want to mention the names of some airline companies, but some of them are.
But I've sat in business class before, and I thought, oh my God, like, you know, the difference.
Business class is cool.
Yeah,
it's cool. But first class is something else.
I ain't sure my money is going to buy the ticket.
Yeah, go home for now. Well, let's dig into the papers. Yep. I'll start with the Daily Graphic newspaper. Caregiver kills baby. That's on page 13. Aww. Sad. Really, 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 really sad for this to happen. And talks about how the police have nabbed a caregiver at a crash in Ghana who vented her anger, her spleen basically, on an 11-month-old baby girl and allegedly killed her while feeding the baby. So this baby supposedly was throwing tantrums and the caregiver simply couldn't take it. But if you can't handle kids, if you can't, why do you? So she's 54. She was arrested after a CCTV camera installed in the room at the Happy Bloomers crash at Agbogba exposed the dastardly act. And now, of course, she's going to face the music. Look, I deal with children at Sunday school, so I know how children, I'm not a parent, but believe you me, they can be quote-unquote pests. You need to have anger management, proper anger management going on. Else, and I don't know whether she really considered what she wanted to do, but that's the sad end. Ghana supports India with 150 oxygen concentrators. Should time allow us, Mama V, I'll come back to this story. Then there's sanitizing small-scale mining. Place 1-year ban. Ochenhene advocates. Some have said, yes, it's the way to go. Others have said, no, that's not the way to go. What do you think? Well, we dig into that story later as we get into the review proper. Republicans unveil $928 billion infrastructure plan. That's what they have been outlining as a proposal yesterday, as a counteroffer to President Joe Biden's more sweeping plan, as the two sides struggle to negotiate a bipartisan compromise and remain far apart on how to pay for the massive spending. Now, there's an interesting bit I was listening to yesterday, I think on the BBC. It talks about how the U.S. is revisiting the theory of a Wuhan lab leak that led to what we now call COVID-19. And China has hit back. They are saying, well, the WHO declared that it wasn't the case. So why are you going back to it? But the US has said the WHO's investigations were not thorough enough. That's actually what they say. It wasn't thorough enough. Then, something we should highlight. 3 CSO's partners launch Menstrual Hygiene Day, which is actually today. And menstrual health must be put on the radar as well. I noticed our very own Debbie Mangote posted about it this morning on Facebook. So that's it for that bit. Wrapping up with the Daily Graphic newspaper. New strategies developed against mosquitoes. Recently, we're talking about the fact that a lot of our insecticides are not working against them. So that's it for the Daily Graphic newspaper.
Let's look at the headlines in the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Front page is President meeting with persons from Volkswagen. It says President Wu's investors vows to protect foreign investment in automobile industry. Patients stranded at medical laboratories as lab scientists laid down tools. This is on our radar this morning. We will go full-blown on this and check out what's happening day 2. Are they still not working? And how is that impacting? Most importantly, and has it stretched the entire country now? Will they listen to the National Labour Commission, who are threatening to either not pay them and also making some recommendations for them to be fired? Are they moved by all of that? That's on the AM show today. But ban illegal mining for 1 year to streamline mining industry. Oh, it's a proposal that has come up from the Ochenhene. Details of that, page 18. But if you go to page 3, court remands 5 accused. Remember the 5 policemen arrested for allegedly extorting some 38,000 Ghana cedis from 2 drivers.
Yep.
They were yesterday remanded into police custody by an Accra Circuit Court to reappear on June 9. They are all police personnel, so about 3 or 4 constables. There's a Lance Corporal. They pleaded not guilty to robbery. Can you imagine? These are people protecting. Suddenly they've been accused of armed robbery. So this issue is being dealt with. We like this, the fast nature. It's been very speedily. I hope that it will travel like that all through, and they'll build a fantastic case so that if they are indeed guilty, the law would get them. And
that is one problem. Oftentimes, there are people who may be culpable in this way or that. But the process of providing evidence, even the investigative process, even when the police is on board, so we have people get through the system who ordinarily would have been found culpable. Yeah.
There's also an update on the 2 people who were caught. They wanted to steal blood, precious blood that people donate, blood that people have to struggle with to get. in order to save their relatives. This happened at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital over the weekend. The update is that the 2 alleged blood thieves have been granted 40,000 Ghana cedis bail with 2 sureties each by an Accra magistrate court. Names have been given. They pleaded not guilty before the courts, and they're expected to reappear on July 12, 2021. That's the update there. In the center spread of the paper, big ups to the Church of Pentecost. They are beginning a 1 million tree planting project. They've been amazing with their corporate social responsibility. I like what they're doing, touching proper lives, because really you can't preach and people can't get the message if they're living in places that are not secured. So they're building police stations, they're beefing up prisons, and now they're planting trees. Like, big ups to the Church of Pentecost. I'm a proud Presbyterian, but I love the Church of Pentecost for this cause as well. And then the quick update on the 2021 population and housing census in the center spread of the paper. We're just 30 days away, and the population and housing, the Ghana Statistical Service is asking the media to help heighten public awareness on the exercise to make it successful. So I'm doing my duty this morning. It's just 30 days away for that counting to begin. Make sure you're counted. On the back page, Karela Olympics battle today, and then 4 million oil palm seedlings ready for planting on degraded mining sites. That's on the back page of the Ghanaian Times newspaper, Ben.
Well, when you mentioned Volkswagen, the car, today, it brought to mind a number of things. You know, that company was established in 1937, and it just brought to mind a bit of history, because when it was established as Volkswagenwerk, it was called the People's Car Company. So Volkswagen actually means the people's car.
Okay.
Ordinary folks' car. And it's also interesting because the Germans don't pronounce, they pronounce their V as F and their W as V.
Okay, but we're pronouncing it the English way.
Exactly.
Just like we would do to Paris.
Exactly. Let's check out the Finder newspaper now. And Tor to commission new furnace by fourth quarter. You know, when we did that story about Tor needing, is it $400 million or so yesterday? People were asking, when I posted, the headline, people were asking, it's the big Ghana Tor ending.
See? It's been like that forever.
So Tor is to commission a new furnace by the fourth quarter of the year. Paperless port system was critical during COVID-19. That's according to the GPHA. Let me take a quick look at the Tor story, actually. It says, Tor is to commission a new furnace by the fourth quarter of this year to increase the refinery's processing capacity. Contractors are currently working on the site to ensure the completion of the furnace and get it ready for commissioning. And
you think I'm hopeful?
Oh, you should be.
Massa.
But I think change has to come at some point. Whether you're thinking Bost, whether you're thinking Tor, I think change has to come at some point with some leadership, regardless of which political party is in power. I think it's just that we know the solutions. It's just that we play too many political gimmicks, and there's so much corruption in the system. I think that is the problem. We can get it right. Why shouldn't we get it right?
So here's my little advice. I don't know if it would count. Just go quiet. Do your transformation. Let us begin to feel the results. But if you give us, people will just be ridiculing you because really, you're always in debt.
And we're always futuristic, like I usually say. We shall. It's never we have done. It's always we shall.
Hide yourself and come back. And they say, oh, Tor. Oh, we haven't heard from them. Oh, so this is what they were doing. Oh, and they're turning things around. You see, that's when you know that you're achieving something.
Youth Ingenuity gets government marketing support. Picture there, Kojopon Kruma, to promote businesses, successes, and social causes of young people. But let's look at this one. Africa urgently needs 20 million second doses of COVID-19 vaccine. That's on page 9. And the story says, so Africa needs at least 20 million doses of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine in the next 6 weeks. That is when? We're in the last week of the month of May. So let's say June. So that's by the first week in July. to all who received the first dose within the 8 to 12-week interval between doses recommended by the WHO. A single dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine gives around 70% protection for at least 12 weeks. Data on the protection from one dose after 12 weeks is limited. But basically, the bottom line is that in addition to this urgent need, another 200 million doses of any WHO emergency use listed COVID-19 vaccine are needed so that the continent can vaccinate 10% of its population by September 2021. Failing which, well, it wouldn't be a very pleasant situation. We hope things pan out well. NAFCO calls on SHS to revive gardening to maximize food production. You know, in the time of Echampong, thanks to the likes of Dr. Asibi Abudu, many people had backyard farms, gardens where they were planting yam and all sorts of things, kuntumri. Well, cassava and, of course, all those other things. But I don't know. Second Lady empowers young women with employable skills in fashion. That's also on page 6 of the paper. And that's it for The Finder. This is all they have found.
Let's do the weekend, the new weekend crusading guide. There's a story that I've been looking at on page 4. It's not on the front page. I mean, it's one of those stories that is really not a Ghanaian business. It's just Akon, who was in the process of filling up his Range Rover, and then the car was stolen. Just
Say
like
what?
that. Yeah.
He was what? At a fuel station,
filling up, but the engine was running.
Oh, so, that thing.
He got out to go and fill in, and then somebody just sat in the car and moved the car.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So he called the police, and he says that he had, valuables, including a $25,000 diamond necklace. There was a Louis Vuitton bag and his iPhone, all gone, like in a flash. This happened in Atlanta.
Oh, so he was back in the States.
Yeah, this happened in Atlanta.
I guess they identified him. They knew that. But that's something else. A safety, something to take stock of. When you're filling up, actually, your engine should be off. Yeah, it's something we all struggle to deal with. But I'm not even taking it so much from the standpoint of someone sitting in your car and taking. But even if you are sitting in the car, your engine should be off because it's dangerous to have your car being filled and your engine on.
Yeah.
I guess if you had taken that simple precautionary measure, maybe this wouldn't have.
Well.
Maybe. Maybe.
Oh, but hey, this is the Ghanaian business. What matters to us in Ghana, I guess, is what's on the front page. There's an issue, land grab in East Legon. Ex-soldier accuses Errata boss of forcibly taking his land of 38 years. But Eddie Kusiankoma says he bought it from Toboase family. So it's one of those familiar land issues. Bedieto rubbishes claim he sold National Center for Culture. Information Ministry unveils social marketing project dubbed Amplified. There are some other stories in the paper. There's a Nungwa stool issuing a warning, encroaches on Oibi lands. Hey, Charlie, Accra lands there. Oh, wow. All right, that's it for the paper.
It's me, ton, Accra lands. Don't go there. But there's a funny bit about Akon. It was a video that was making the rounds many years ago. So it was a prank, basically. But some Asians, said they were contracting him to do some stuff, big money move. So Akon is with them, and they keep talking about him, and they keep going, Akon. And he has to tell them, no, my name is Akon. And they kept going, Akon, insisting it was Akon. And then he burst out. It was like, how you gonna tell me how to pronounce my own name? And that was just the funny part, because the look on his face, it's later that he realized, it was all a prank. It wasn't real. They were intentionally doing that just to get him. The Chronicle newspaper. CID denies investigating national security. Would you believe it? That's on page 14. And it says, unlike some countries where security personnel act swiftly at the mention of crime to ascertain its validity, the Criminal Investigations Department of the Ghana Police Service is rather refuting claims of initiating any investigation into wrongdoings by the national security. And it would be recalled that this paper in its Wednesday, May 26, 2021 edition carried a story that a team of crack detectives drawn from the HQ of the Criminal Investigation Department of the Ghana Police Service had been dispatched to Asankragwai in the Western region to conduct forensic investigations into the reported raid of a hotel by persons identified to have come from the National Security Secretariat in Accra. Apparently, that is not the case in Tino. It is what it is. Then there's this one, KMA boss in hot waters, party juggernauts scramble for his post. And it's been interesting as I've heard of some of the names that have come up in recent times, who are gunning for that position. Time will tell. China can't threaten Ghana's cocoa production. And that story, too, is actually on page 14. The CEO of the Ghana Cocoa Board, Joseph Boahin Aidu. And this thing, really, I've spoken about it in the past. I don't want to go back there, but only time will tell. And hopefully we can retain our spot when it comes to cocoa production. Then there's who wins the Champions League tomorrow? Well, should I tell you in advance? Should I spoil it for you? Should I tell them?
Go ahead.
You want to put me in that?
Are you, I don't know, like, should you tell, like, you know how this is going to go down?
I don't see how. Well, there's always possibility. But anyway, let me put it this way. I'm gunning for the blue end of Manchester. I may have lost with the red end of Manchester, but I'm gunning for the blue end of Manchester to thrash those people. If those people win, then we are dead.
Is this an issue of your enemy's enemy is your friend?
Exactly. But by the way, talking sports, Real Madrid says players say goodbye to Zidane after he quits second time. So that's another one there. That's it for the Chronicle.
Let's go through the Daily Guide newspaper on the front page. This story is also here, the 5 robbers, and you would always see robber in quotes because it's not been proven yet, but they are policemen really, and now they're standing. Hey, can you imagine? It sounds some way, policemen being tried for robbery.
Yeah, they'll be in the dock.
There's also another update on NAM1. That story is on page 3, maybe a bit of that. It says the trial of Chief Executive Officer of Defunct Men's Gold Ghana Limited, Nana Appiah Mensah, popularly known as NAM1, has taken another long adjournment to July 6, 2021, after the prosecution was unable to file the necessary processes as ordered by the trial court. So Her Honor Evelyn Asamoah had ordered the prosecution to file their processes before yesterday's sit-in, but appearing before the courts, prosecutor ASP Sylvester Sari stated that they were unable to file the processes as ordered by the court, but said it was not a deliberate attempt to delay the trial. Let me see what the judge said, because usually they are not happy when, they keep delaying. People who don't understand sometimes will think it's the fault of the courts, but usually, see, in this case, is the prosecutor. Let's see. After listening to both sides, trying to get some flesh. So there's a good background to the story that we're all familiar with, but this is the excuse. The records will show that at the last sit-in, we indicated and pleaded with the court as it is in the interest of justice. This morning, we're again in bended knees, although standing. We ask that you give us the necessary ear. And then he said, we will ensure that we file the necessary processes. We pray that in the interest of justice, my lady grants an adjournment to enable parties put their house in order. So that's where we are. So the judge, after listening to both sides, were told they'll maintain the sum of 1 billion Ghana cedis, remove the condition of 3 of the 5 sureties to be justified. This is just the background, of the story in terms of how they were granted bail.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see. The center spread. Apietus bemoans how people who insult are becoming celebrities.
Please mention his name again.
Apietus.
In the mix.
He's a producer. We popularly know him as Apietus. He's worried about how people who assassinate others' character, through insults are fast becoming celebs. And according to him, it's not a good example for the younger generation who are watching. He made a post on Instagram and he questioned why people can't make public statements without disrespecting the next person over whatever reasons they have. The rest of it is there. And then, yeah, Akon's Range Rover found. Okay, so I got an update in the Daily Guide.
Oh, so here it's been found.
It's been found.
But did they find, can we find out whether they found the necklace and all of that?
Let's see.
It doesn't say.
Fortunately, Akon's phone was still in his SUV and he was able to track it. Okay, no, they didn't tell me.
So is the phone they used to track it?
Exactly.
But how about, is it $25,000?
No, they didn't say.
piece?
They didn't say. It's not in the story, at least. It just tells, how they managed to track the vehicle and, yeah.
Ayo.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, so let's check out this one. And I know this is one you'll be interested in. $55 million Law Village project begins. And the president on Wednesday, Carter, sought to signal the beginning of the Law Village projects of the Ghana Law School, expressing the hope that the project would expand access to legal education in the country. He acknowledges the fact that the project is long overdue. He says it's tied to the 2020 manifesto of the party to expand infrastructure to increase access to professional legal education. And I'm quoting him here, "I've been reliably informed that some 1,000 students were admitted during the 2020-2021 academic year, a development which led to the acting director opting for a triple-track system. But the entire Law Village project will cost some $55 million. The first phase of the project is to complement the facilities of the Accra main campus located at Makola, and that is being carried out at a cost of some $4 million. It's set to add a seating capacity of 1,500, a number of lecture halls, a well-resourced library, and more." That's the story I'll focus on in the Daily Statesman. It's also futuristic, but let's see what comes out of it. Aren't you excited?
No, please. When you
No?
said 55, I thought you were going to talk about money that was coming into my pocket.
Of course, we must also check whether we are getting value for money in terms of the $55 million we are sinking into this project.
Well, quickly to the Business and Financial Times newspaper front page, why banks find it difficult to give loans if you've been chasing a loan for a while and you're not getting it. Well, FNB Bank CEO is giving some explanation. Stay neutral and the after not possible. AGI to businesses touts aggregation to give local SMEs the urge, stresses the need for quality to access markets. Only 10% of oil and gas businesses are insured locally, and TOR on course to shake off its shackles by Q4. I like that. Okay, so you can go.
I like the way this one puts it.
Business and Financial Times, yeah. There's a headline quickly on the front page of the Weekend today. It says, Karachi East celebrate flat tummies. It's simply because they didn't record as many teenage pregnancy cases. That's what the celebration is about. Yeah.
And that's a big deal. It's a big deal if you're looking at the numbers we've been looking at concerning teenage pregnancy. Right before we go to myjoyonline.com, let me just let you know what's trending on Twitter. At number 10, we have the Milwaukee Bucks, and Giannis Antetokounmpo has been doing his magic. They're actually up against the Miami Heat by 3-0. The Phoenix Suns are also trending at number 8. The Lakers beat them, and that is why at number 5 we have Lake Show. At number 4 we have LeBron James, King James, and at number 3 we have the Lakers. But at number 7, interestingly, the hashtag Kate does not do galamsey is trending. You know the Kate I speak of? Jim Fua, extra gold.
How does Twitter solve the problem? President says go to court.
Ah, well, but she's trending here. Kate does not do galamsey.
All right, I like.
Take go court.
I like the trend though.
I'm gonna say take go court. Let's check out my Joy Online.
Yes, but I've got a birthday dedication. You're 11 years old today. Sam Emmanuel Bosomche Bequing of AGA School, Obuase Class 6C. It's your birthday today. It's from Mom and Dad. And all your friends wishing you a happy birthday. Sam Emmanuel Bosomche Bequing of AGA School, Obuase Class 6C. Happy birthday. Let's do myjoyonline.com. Ekufuado spent £345,000 on travel from May 16 to 25, according to Okujeto Ablakwa. So this is a discovery, if you like, but we're yet to hear from the presidency in terms of how true the allegations are. 401 soldiers deployed for fourth phase of Operation Hold 2. Occupy Ghana statement on government's ban on site punishment for illegal mining. The full text is on my JoyNews.com. 35-year-old man in police custody for allegedly killing 50-year-old woman who refused to marry him. Ebeyo. Oh. 3 MPP executives arraigned over alleged assaults, and then the lab scientists strike pregnant women in Tamale Teaching Hospital, the brands. World Bank IMF slammed for using wrong indicator to assess Ghana's fiscal economy. And then Derek Boateng, this one is still in the trends. Derek Boateng, 34 others arrested for violating road traffic regulations.
Former Black Stars player.
Yeah, man. All right, so you can get onto my JoyNews.com. If you find a story of interest, you can read it in details. I just want to wish my friends at the Chartered Institute of Accountants, Ghana, they've been in a celebrative mood all week, and it's crowning this weekend in Kumasi. It's their conference, their annual conference. They've got a dinner coming up this weekend. I wish them well, particularly the CEO, Mr. Paul Kwesi Agyemang. I wish you well with your conference this weekend. Yeah.
Well, that's how we wrap up the news review. It's time now for some sports. Do stay. We'll be back.